Hi there, everyone. Welcome to Supercharged Productivity. Get ready to skyrocket your productivity levels, break targets, and live the successful life you've always dreamed about. In this section, we'll be looking at the myth that is time management. Ask any successful business or individual out there, and they'll tell you right off that higher levels of productivity are a crucial aspect in ensuring revenue growth and success. Many individuals and corporations willingly invest large sums of money and effort in order to improve in this area. High levels of productivity in individuals helps to bring them closer to their success targets within a shorter time period and prevents needless waste of time, money, and effort. Productivity can be defined as the quality, state, or fact of being able to generate, create, enhance, or bring forth goods and services. Simply put, it's just how much one can get done in a set period of time. Both productivity and time management are strongly correlated. Higher levels of productivity are usually the result of better time management. However, the term time management is really a misnomer. Time can't be managed or influenced. It's pretty much just out of control. We are all allocated just 24 hours in a day, no more, no less. Time, however, is fleeting and so easily taken from us. Unexpected things pop up all the time. Priorities change. Things go terribly wrong. You get sick or tired. You can only do so much. You can, however, control you and your choices. Time management is more correctly about self-discipline and task management. It's the management of expectations as well as interruptions. It's the ability to manage your actions, habits, and priorities based on the time you're given. Also, time management's not a one-system-fits-all method. Different people have different styles. Some may find that a to-do list works for them. Others may find to-do lists hard to follow and demotivating. It's all about finding your groove. So, do you think multitasking is good because you want to manage time better? Well, that's a bad idea. Contrary to popular belief, faster and more is not always better. You're more likely to make mistakes with multitasking, which will result in you doing things over again. Stick to focusing on one task at a time and taking sufficient breaks whenever you need them. Striving to complete each task no matter how long it takes is also not a wise idea when it comes to time management. Restrict your time spent on a task and schedule accordingly. As you can see from the few examples I've shown, and there are a lot more, a lot of what we know regarding time management are in fact myths. But these myths over time and through the people around us or the media we consume become deeply ingrained within our mindsets. This prevents us from becoming truly and fully productive in any aspect of our lives. Hi there and welcome back. Today we'll look into effectiveness and efficiency, two significant terms when it comes to productivity. Effectiveness and efficiency. Both terms are adjectives that begin with the letter E and are used to describe how work is done. Not only that, they sound quite similar. These terms are anything but similar. In fact, they each carry completely different meanings. Effectiveness is all about doing the right things. It's result-oriented. It's when one's objectives are in line with their main goals and, indirectly, your purpose. It's finding ways to improve outcomes. For example, if your goal is to increase awareness and sales of a particular product to reach a particular target, you should engage in tasks or activities that will help move you closer to your goals. For example, marketing and ads. And not waste your time on irrelevant tasks that don't serve your goals. This makes you effective. Efficiency is about doing things right. This aspect is task-oriented. It's using better ways to get something done well in the shortest amount of time possible while utilizing the least amount of resources and/or costs. An example of efficiency would be using a computerized system to get things done accurately in a shorter span of time, as opposed to relying on manual methods to do the same thing, which will take more time and effort. Either one can exist without the other. One can be effective but not particularly efficient, and vice versa. In fact, one can be either 1. Effective and efficient, 2. Effective and inefficient, 3. Ineffective and efficient, 4. Ineffective and inefficient. Optimal productivity is a combination of both efficiency and effectiveness. That would be our first example, effective and efficient. It is not possible to reach peak productivity levels if lacking in either efficiency or effectiveness, number 2, 3, and 4. If anything, they're setting themselves up for either mediocrity or inevitable failure. In terms of order of importance, effectiveness should be prioritized over efficiency in all of your considerations about productivity. Effectiveness involves the big picture. Putting effectiveness first just means that you should first and foremost focus on doing the right things in order to improve your chances of getting a good outcome. Once you get yourself on track and laid out the basics, you can then look into how you can improve the way you do things. The logic here is to concentrate on being efficient at the tasks which are significant and are effective in contributing to your goals. There's no point in particularly being efficient when the tasks you carry out don't contribute to your purpose or goals. To sum things up, efficiency is a modifier for effectiveness, not a substitute. Efficiency is meaningless on its own. So, how does one increase their effectiveness? Clarify the what, focusing on the results you want to achieve and defining the picture of success. Clarify and pursue key strategies that will give you the highest possibility for success. After establishing your plan of action, you can focus on how to increase your efficiency. This would mean concentrating on the hows, implementation of your strategies in the most efficient way possible, and improving how you do things as you go along. Hi there, and welcome back again. In this part, we'll be looking at focusing on the results first as a way to attain success through vision and goal setting. To embark on a major journey, you should first have a real idea of your destination. This way, you'll be able to plan adequately for your journey, directions, mode of transport, estimated costs, time, etc. Skip all that, and you'd end up wandering aimlessly or find yourself lost somewhere in the middle of Timbuktu. Sure, you're on a journey, all right, but to where? Similarly, when it comes to planning for your success, you need a destination and a roadmap that would be a clear vision of what you want and specific goals to help you on your way to achieve your idea of success. To be truly effective in your pursuit for your success, you should first be able to visualize your destination, a clear vision of where you want to be in the future. It's what you desire. It's your passion, your purpose in doing something. Creating a vision is important. It's the very thing that gives you direction, a compass that directs you in making the best decisions and taking the right actions that will propel you towards success. It's what gets you excited and motivated to push beyond your self-imposed boundaries. It's what keeps you focused and on top of the game. To begin, take some time to envision how you see your life in your ideal future. Reflect on your passions, core principles, and values you live by, and your purpose in life. Make sure your vision is specific and clear. It's your starting point, the very foundation you'll be building on. It's the ideal you will be striving for to get close to. It should be something that's in line with your values and principles, as well as your view of the future. An example here would be to be financially free by age 30, to work only 30 hours a week, to be a healthier individual, both mentally and physically. You can also think of the people you admire and look up to, the kind of characteristics or habits you wish to emulate yourself. In fact, you can even ask them to be your mentor, to help you think things through on certain areas and advise you on what's worked for them. Don't hold yourself back too much when creating your own vision. Your vision is personal and unique. There's no right or wrong. It's something you only can decide for yourself. Goals are more specific and quantifiable targets. It's the roadmap to your journey of success, They act as benchmarks or milestones, aiding you in laying the path for the rightful achievement of your vision. This also includes the tactics as well as strategies you use to work towards your vision. A good approach to use when it comes to setting your goals is the SMARTER approach to goal setting. SMARTER is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time boxing, evaluation, review. Specific. Your goal should be specific and crystal clear. The more specific you can get, the better. Ask yourself these 5 W's. What do I want to accomplish? Why is the goal important? Who is involved? Where is it located? Which resources or limits are involved? Measurable. Your goals should be measurable and quantifiable. This is so you can track your progress and performance properly. Being able to see progress is a great motivator. It gets you excited knowing that you are well on your way to success. Achievable. A successful goal should be one that is realistic and achievable. Your goals should stretch your abilities but also remain possible for you to achieve. Do consider factors that will affect the achievability of the goal, like financial and time constraints. Relevant. Your goal should be relevant. It should matter to you and also be aligned with your other goals and vision. This step keeps you from focusing on the wrong things. Time-bound. Set a deadline. This gives you something to work towards. Make sure you set a specific date for your goals. This allows you to develop a clearer plan to achieve it. Evaluate. Over time, things happen and goals change. Look over your goals from time to time and evaluate them. Check if they need changing to fit your current situation. Constant evaluation of your goals is essential for you to reach your goals. Revise. Upon evaluation, if you find that your goals need readjusting, then revise them accordingly. Hello and welcome. This chapter will guide you on building your game plan to success. There are 6 steps on building your game plan, which are: Step 1, develop the right plan for you. Step 2, allocate the time for it. Step 3, keep a journal. Step 4, reflect on where you are and where you want to be. Step 5, set clear and achievable goals. Step 6, act on it. It's baffling why some succeed and some fail. Sometimes it may even seem unfair. You may know friends and family who are fantastic people, act appropriately, have good education, have good jobs, lead good families, and generally possess the good things in life. But somehow they still wallow in desperation and difficulty. There are those who always achieve so much success and yet do not have high merits. They have no education, poor attitude about themselves, and other people, often dishonest and unethical, and even involved in a cycle of breakups and new partners. In these cases, the actual defining factor is the strength of one's desire to get ahead. Despite their lack of virtues, knowledge, and appreciation, these people often get ahead in the success race. This is also why many times you see drug dealers and gang members driving Lamborghinis, while many good and honest people you know are struggling to pay their bills. If the desire is strong enough to achieve the goals, why still many do not? The sad answer is there is only desire but no work. Oftentimes, many people dream big but don't hustle and put in the work. They don't stay up late at night developing new solutions to their problems. They don't work 16 hours a day closing a sale. They don't struggle to ensure the prospects they approach turn into qualified clients. While you're sitting there dreaming, some are getting off their seats and working. So what are the steps to develop a plan that will work amazingly and take you to the finish line strongly? Here are the 5 major points to keep in mind. Step 1, develop the right plan for you. Some people are very detail-oriented and are able to closely follow an intricate plan to the letter. Others are more effective when they see the bigger picture first and then frame out the small steps that lead to the final goal. Each of us is unique and motivated by different factors, and you have to develop a plan that's right for you and fits for you. Some will not be as intricate as others, but we all must have a plan along with the goals in that plan to move us along. It's not as simple as telling yourself you are going to spend 2 hours a day writing a chapter for your novel. It probably won't happen and you'll just get discouraged. Whatever your strengths and your weaknesses are, develop a plan around them. No plan is perfect and can fit everyone. If you're detail-oriented, it's best to map out the small steps in your plan with utmost focus. This means being very clear on what you want to achieve daily, weekly, or monthly. For example, the first small step to achieving your ideal weight is to cut out 1 serving of sweetened drinks by the end of week 1. For those who like to see the bigger picture first, it helps if you imagine your end goal first. For example, you want to be 20 pounds lighter. Then picture what the benefits are. You may be able to get out of bed easier, your energy level will rise, and you'll fit into those apparels that you yearn to wear. Then map out what you need to do in order to achieve that. Step 2, allocate the time for it. This is crucial in your planning because you'll be clearer on when you should commit on achieving your goals. In this case, let's go back to the weight loss goal. It might be alternating aerobics and weight training every other weekend. It might be running 30 minutes each morning or swimming after work. It might be in the car listening to weight loss motivational podcasts on your way to work, or it might even be meeting your coach once a week to set your workout plan and to check your progress. Whatever it is, be specific on the where, when, and how you do it, and actually do it. In your step-by-step plan, put down points that represent small, achievable goals that you can accomplish in a short time. They should be specific, because if you straight away put down a major goal, you may think it's too big to achieve. The next crucial element in achieving your goals to success is not starting to work on it, but to keep going at it. Discipline comes into important play here. Take those steps every day, which will close the gap to your goals. Step 3, keep a journal. 2 words that will help you a lot. Take notes. In all seriousness, your memory should not be trusted. It's much better and workable when you write it down and write it in a single place so it's easier for you to remind yourself where you're heading to and what successes you have achieved. You will find that this step will help you tremendously in the long run. Record everything, be it the ideas and inspiration or reminders and failures that you've gone through. This massively helps carry you from where you are to where you want to be. Write down the ideas that you get from outside sources that impact you the most. Complement them with your own ideas that further suit your style. Do a brainstorming session with yourself on what you want and how you want to do it. And finally, record all your dreams and ambitions and put them where you'll read them first so you stay reminded and motivated. Your journals are a gathering place for all of the valuable information that you'll find. If you come across something that you think will hugely help you achieve, for example, wealth, power, sophistication, health, influence, culture, or uniqueness, don't delay, write it down. Strengthen your reflection and motivation by using the information you gather and put it where it will be recorded permanently. Step 4, reflect on where you are and where you want to be. The next step is to make the time for reflection. This is where you spend some time to go back over to study again the things you've learned and the things you've done each day. This can also be called running the tapes again, so the day locks firmly in your memory and serves as a tool for motivation and keeps you going. As you go through it, spend time reflecting on its significance to you. What you can do is take a few minutes at the end of each day before you go to sleep and go back over what happened and what you've achieved during the day. Pay extra attention to who you talked to, who you saw, what they said, what happened, and how you felt. Another way is to take a longer time at the end of the week to reflect on the week's activities and achievements. It also pays to periodically stop, step back, and look at what you're doing to see if it serves to push you to your goal or otherwise. Then tweak it a bit so you are kept on track. Take a half day at the end of the month and a weekend at the end of the year so that you've got it, so that it never disappears, to ensure that the past is even more valuable and will serve your future well. Step 5. Set clear and achievable goals. Remember that your plan is the roadmap that shows you the way to your goals, which means it's always an essential tool that helps you to succeed. Setting goals is also an invaluable skill to learn because it can change your life for the better, and it does it in the fastest way. Mastering this unique process can have a powerful effect on your life, too. If you have a set of clearly defined goals, it can surprisingly be a powerful indication of telling if you have only hundreds of dollars or millions in the bank. If you don't have them yet, better to frame them out immediately so you have a lucid view of your future and your dreams. Set your own goals clearly as soon as possible because it's the greatest influence on your future and the greatest force that will pull you in the direction that they want to go. It all boils down to this: if you plan and design your goals well, your future will be very bright. Step 6. Act on it. So, what still holds you back from your success? If you have a very strong desire to do it already and you have already created a plan that will take you there, the next step: take action. Here's the thing: successful people aren't necessarily smarter than others. They just work on the plan to the letter. They follow through on the plan and ensure the plan serves them to reach their greater heights. The best time to act on your plan is when your emotions are strong. There's a little thing called the law of diminishing intent. This essentially means your desires diminish over time, and if you don't act immediately after having the desire, your goals are harder to achieve. Act when the idea strikes you, when the emotion is high. But if we delay and we don't translate that into action fairly soon, the intentions start to diminish, and a month from now, the desire goes cold. This is where discipline comes to play. Work the plan when the idea is strong, clear, and powerful. You must capture the emotion and put it into disciplined activities and translate them into strong, unrelenting actions. Hello and welcome back. This chapter will show you how you can raise your productivity level to the max by following examples from successful people. To put it in simple terms, high productivity means that you're putting out products more quickly or completing tasks at higher speed than before. The more products someone produces or services the person completes, the more positive results come in, making increased productivity a high priority for many workplace environments. There are some things, however, that cause your productivity to plummet, such as unfavorable environment, distractions, and plain old procrastination. You can't always control your environment, but the good news is you can control what you get done. Plus, you can learn from others to be even more productive. There are probably more direct ways to help your productivity increase, such as conducive environment or closing the Facebook tab on your browser. But these are just small hacks that actually only do so much. There are more meaningful ways to be your best. As promised, here are 10 secrets to supercharge your productivity. Have big goals in mind. First, big results require big goals. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg is a master at this, making room each year for a new challenge, which he says allows him to learn new things and grow outside my work at Facebook. And it pays. He's now fluent in Mandarin and is meeting new people all the time. Looking at it backwards can help too, like Amazon's Jeff Bezos does. He makes room for big goals by starting with the customer's needs and working backwards to build skills to get that work done faster. Give each day a theme. Try copying Jack Dorsey for this. When splitting his time between Square and Twitter, he stays productive by giving each day a theme. Mondays for management, Tuesdays for product, etc. As he explains, there is interruption all the time, but I can quickly deal with an interruption and then know that it's Tuesday, I have product meetings, and I need to focus on product stuff. Another tip you can use is the No Meeting Wednesday. Facebook co-founder Dustin Moskovitz believes that this gives him and his team a good amount of time each week for focused, heads-down work. Set limits. You can only spend so much time focusing on something. After that, it's time to move on to the next important thing. For example, former Nissan CEO Carlos Ghosn only allocates 1.5 hours to single-purpose non-operational meetings, with half the time for presentation and the other half for discussions. Another thing you can limit is the length of your emails. The Facebook COO, Sheryl Sandberg, says she responds to every single work email, but she saves time by keeping the responses short. I would rather give a short, quick, incomplete answer than wait and do it better, she says. Deep work zone. Focus, focus, focus. This is perhaps the most important productivity secret. Bill Gates would set time for deep work, where he would allocate time each week to do his most challenging work without any distractions. No stopping, not even for sleep. Cal Newport, author of the book Deep Work, said, "Deep work is important, not because distraction is evil, but because it enabled Bill Gates to start a billion-dollar industry in less than a semester." Streamline decisions. Jeff Bezos makes a lot of decisions every day. Since this can be time-consuming, he's developed a 4-step process for navigating his business more quickly. First, one-size-fits-all decisions are a no-no. Many decisions are reversible, two-way doors, he writes in his 2017 letter to shareholders. Those decisions can use a lightweight process. Second, make the decision when you are at 70% of your intended information. If you wait for 90%, you're probably being slow, he writes. Disagree and commit. This phrase will save a lot of time, he writes. If you have conviction on a particular direction, even though there is no consensus, it's helpful to say, "Look, I know we disagree on this, but will you gamble with me on it? Disagree and commit?" By the time you're at this point, no one knows the answer for sure, and you'll probably get a quick yes. Address the real misalignments early and focus on them immediately. Sometimes teams have different objectives and fundamentally different views, he writes. They are not aligned. No amount of discussion, no number of meetings will resolve that deep misalignment. Without escalation, the default dispute resolution mechanism for this scenario is exhaustion. Get to work before everyone else. The early bird catches the worm. Try starting work before everyone wakes. Sally Krawcheck, CEO of the digital financial platform Ellevest, starts her day at 4 a.m. The reason is the most precious commodity in business is time, and I find I am most productive when I balance time that I spend with others with blocks of time during which I can think, write, and, my favorite, build earnings models, she writes. She further elaborated that at this time, my mind is clear, not yet caught up in the multiple internal conversations that we all conduct with ourselves once we gear up for our first meeting of the day. And there's a peace that comes from knowing that my family is all in bed and safe upstairs while I work. It is at this time of day that I often have a rush of ideas. Some of them are actually good. Protect your time. Instead of starting the day with important tasks, Keller Williams Realty founder Gary Keller blocks out the first few hours of his day to work on his most important task for the year, his one thing. This is because this one thing, when tackled, will make everything else easier to do or unnecessary. Keller has used this to write books and grow his company to the largest real estate franchise. Keller also believes that until this one thing is done, anything else can impair it. The key is time. Success is built sequentially. It's one thing at a time, he writes, in the one thing, the surprisingly simple truth behind extraordinary results. Close virtual doors. Open work environments opens up many good possibilities, but also can hinder productivity with unnecessary distractions and interruptions. Michael Pryor, former CEO of Trello, encourages workers to close virtual doors by turning off Slack and email and by putting a Post-it note on their desk that says, "Heads down." Interruptions are weird. They leech time from important projects and take a while to recover from. Every time you switch contexts, there's this huge cost associated with that. Pryor said in an interview with Time, "Our time is limited essentially Your trick is to be able to ration that resource for all the things you need to do, and that's the hardest part of being productive. Separate work and personal life. This may seem counterintuitive or even obvious to some, but it's nonetheless as important as anything. YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki makes being home in time for dinner with family a priority. Leaving the office on time helps consolidate her work and gets it done more rapidly. So when she is home, she can focus on her family without any distractions. We try to have the rule to not check email between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. because if you are on your phone, then it's hard to disconnect, Wojcicki said in an interview with the Wall Street Journal. Pulling the plug when the time comes can actually help you stay productive, creative, and your pursuit to success a surety. Success is not based on the number of hours that you worked, Wojcicki says. If you're working 24/7, you're not going to have any interesting ideas. Clear out your inbox every day. Email is unidirectional. Anyone at any time can just go to your inbox without permission, invitation, or consideration, Elliot Weisbluth, CEO of Hightower, writes on LinkedIn. Empowering the world to demand a thin slice of your attention is more than unfair. It's a recipe for constant distraction. He uses 3 rules to simplify things and keep him focused and productive. 1. Unsubscribe from newsletters. It takes more time than simply deleting, but actually saves hours every year. 2. Delete and completely forget about it. When in doubt, delete. If it's that important someone will follow up with you, then respond to what you can and move the rest to recycling, he writes. Don't bother filing. Use a good search tool to scan your folders and find things you need instantly. If you do nothing else but these 3 things, your inbox will be a lot leaner, he writes. Whatever messages are left become a to-do list of the items that actually need your care and attention. Keep this list short, between 2 and 5 items, or what you can actually hope to achieve on any given day. Get those items done and you've just reached inbox 0. It might seem unorthodox that some steps make you seem less productive, but again, it's more than simply cranking out more than you usually do. Being productive is not only being efficient, it also means you are effective in your work, where you take steps to completely turn problems into solutions that make extra work unnecessary. Hello and welcome back. In this module, you'll learn why energy is important and how it boosts your productivity. Energy is very important when you're aiming for high productivity. If you look at successful people and ask them how they do it, they'll always say energy is one of the main drives to success. Defined in physics as the capacity to work, energy comes from 4 main sources in you, your body, emotions, mind, and spirit. 1. The body. It's no news that improper nutrition, exercise, sleep, and rest affect your energy levels, emotion management, and focus. Nonetheless, you may be guilty of ignoring ways to practice healthy behaviors given all the other demands in your life. You may be doing such things as skipping breakfast, failing to express appreciation to others, struggling to focus on one thing at a time, or spending too little time on activities that give them a sense of purpose. While it's not surprising that these behaviors are counterproductive, having them all listed in one place can become uncomfortable, sobering, and galvanizing. Rituals for building and renewing physical energy. Let's take an example. Gary Farrow, a vice president at Wachovia, was significantly overweight, ate poorly, lacked a regular exercise routine, worked long hours, and typically slept no more than 5 or 6 hours a night. Farrow began exercising with cardio and strength training. He also started to go to bed at a regular time, and he sleeps longer. He changed his meals from 2 big ones a day to small meals every 3 hours. The aim is to stabilize glucose levels over the course of the day, avoiding peaks and valleys, and the result? Farrow lost 50 pounds and his energy levels soared. Another way to restore energy is taking brief, regular breaks at specific intervals throughout the workday. We have ultradian rhythms, which refers to 90 to 120-minute cycles during which our bodies swing through high and low energy states. If done properly, intermittent breaks can increase and sustain performance. It's possible to recover well in a short time if it involves a ritual that allows you to separate briefly from work and let your mind rest. 2. The emotion. When you can take more control of your emotions, you can massively improve the quality of your energy. To do this, you must become aware of how you feel at various points of time and its effect on your effectiveness. People tend to perform best when they're feeling positive energy and won't perform well, vice versa. Rituals for erasing negative emotions. One ritual for erasing negative emotions is buying time. You can take deep abdominal breaths and exhale slowly for 10 seconds to relax and recover and diffuse your fight or flight response. Expressing appreciation to others is a practice which is as beneficial to the giver as it is to the receiver. It can take the form of a handwritten note, an email, a call, or a conversation. The more detailed and specific the appreciation given, the higher the impact. To achieve higher success at doing this, like any other ritual, set aside some time to do it. Finally, you can change the stories you tell yourself about the events in your life. You can see this often, people casting themselves in the role of a victim instead of being thankful for what they have. This is powerful because you are more aware of the difference between the facts and the way you interpret them. The mind. Multitasking while sounding and looking cool actually undermines productivity. This is because a temporary shift in attention from one task to another increases the amount of time to finish a task by as much as 25%. You're likelier to be more efficient to fully focus for 90 to 120 minutes, take a true break, and then fully focus on the next activity. This focus and break cycle is called ultradian sprints. Rituals to reduce interruptions. Once you can see how much you struggle to concentrate, you can combat this by creating rituals to reduce the interruptions that bother you. Start out with an exercise that makes you face the impact of your daily distractions. Here's an example. Instead of replying to your emails as soon as they come in, set time to answer them at specific times of the day. This actually can allow you to clear your inbox faster if you fully focus on your emails for 45 minutes at a time. Another way to mobilize mental energy is to focus systematically on activities that impact you the most in the long term. Identify the most important challenge for the next day and make it your very first priority when you arrive at work the following morning. 4. The spirit. Your spirit is at your highest when your work and activities are consistent with what you value and have a sense of meaning and purpose the most. If the work you're doing really matters to you, you will have more energy, focus, and perseverance. However, the demands and pace of corporate life don't leave much space for these issues, and many don't even know that meaning and purpose are potential sources of energy. To access the energy of the human spirit, you need to clarify priorities and establish rituals in 3 categories. 1. Doing what you do best and enjoy most at work. 2. Consciously allocating time and energy to the areas of your life like work, family, health, service to others that you deem most important. 3. And living your core values in your daily behaviors. Hello and welcome back. This chapter will guide you through the 5 productivity hacks and how you could apply the 5 hacks to your advantage. There are 5 hacks you can employ in order to be on top of your productivity game. 1. Having a game plan. 2. What should you do first? 3. Increasing motivation. 4. Setbacks are stepping stones. 5. Taking care of yourself. 1. Having a game plan. The basic principle of productivity is having a game plan. This is accomplished by having effective time management. If you don't have a game plan for getting it done, the results will not be satisfying. While procrastination and wasting time impede productivity, lack of effective time management can be as destructive. Increasing your productivity and getting things done means having a good game plan. First, you need to know exactly what must be done. Second, even if you don't have a specific deadline, you must also decide when it must be done. The third step is putting yourself to the task of doing it. The three components of an effective game plan. When you are not content to simply go with the flow, and instead take your game plan seriously every step of the way, you are nearly guaranteed of success, pride, and satisfaction. Here are the three components of an effective game plan. 1. Identify what needs to be done. First, you need to know exactly what you need to do. For instance, if you've been assigned to prepare for a presentation as well as a meeting that will be held within the week, you have to be clear of the tasks that are at hand. 2. Decide when it must be done, the timeline. Second, even if you do not have a specific deadline, you must set a time frame for the task to be completed. When you've organized your workload, you're less likely to procrastinate, and this will help you in prioritizing your tasks as well as managing your time. 3. Do it. The third step is putting yourself to the task of doing it. There's no use at all to the planning and organization if you do not take immediate action and complete the tasks. 2. What should you do first? Always start with a difficult task. When you begin your day, regardless if you're at work or if you have countless assignments to be submitted before exams, try and put this approach to action. Instead of beginning with a task you enjoy or one which comes easily to you, start with one you dislike or one which you feel will be quite difficult. At the end of the day, you may be pleasantly surprised with how much you've accomplished. You'll also feel that the day has gone much smoother. The explanation for this is because usually at the start of your day, you have more energy as compared to the end of the day. When you devote this energy to the hardest or most disliked tasks, you will not feel as drained or frustrated by doing them. Secondly, if you begin with the easier tasks at hand first, you'll be looking at your difficult upcoming tasks with negativity. This will no doubt cause your motivation to decline, and you'll dread the rest of your day. This approach will increase your productivity. When you do not look at your workday as a long uphill battle, you'll get more done. Getting the tasks you dislike out of the way first, early in the day, will generate better results with all of your tasks. Not only will you get more done, you'll be much more satisfied with the outcome of each and every task. 3. Increasing motivation. We've all heard people say that they were not motivated as an excuse for not getting things done. In most cases, this is a polite way of saying that they're lazy. In the real world, where productivity and success are essential, motivation is a key element. If it does not come naturally to you, you need to examine ways to increase your own motivation and put it into action every day. The more motivated you are, the more things you're able to accomplish. How to motivate yourself. One of the most practical steps you can adopt to get your motivation up and running is to enjoy and appreciate your accomplishments. Applaud yourself for completing every single task regardless, big or small. While you should not be distracted or sidetracked from your main focus, giving yourself the deserved credit as well as a figurative pat on the back will no doubt increase your motivation. How to motivate yourself. Get into the habit of feeling glad about every task you complete and have pride in each and every accomplishment. It will increase your motivation to do even more and to do better each time. As motivation and energy are connected, you'll also see that you have much more energy for all of the tasks in front of you. No matter how large your ultimate goal happens to be, or how much time and work you need to put into it to accomplish that particular goal, you will be pleasantly surprised at how much more smoothly it all progresses. 4. Setbacks are stepping stones. Many people take setbacks negatively, and oftentimes your perception towards setbacks is the biggest obstacle and hindrance of productivity. When you focus on how setbacks can only bring you down and do not serve as a stepping stone for you to move forward, you will end up not doing anything at all. Another way of viewing setbacks is by perceiving them as an opportunity for you to do better next time. If you've made a mistake on your part, own up to it, correct the mistake, and move on. There's no use dwelling in the past, as these can have their own repercussions. You may beat yourself up about the mistake or even obsess about it. These behaviors are never useful. Not only will they prevent you from getting things done, they'll also cause you to feel bad about yourself. At its worst, it can lead you to feel incompetent. This is not the way to get things done. Viewing each setback as a learning experience is the way to go. Taking care of yourself. If there's one thing we usually neglect to do, it's taking care of our own physical well-being. If you're like most people, you've probably had the experience of working all night to get something done. You may have gone without sleep, skipped meals, and other important factors in self-care for the purpose of finishing a task or meeting a deadline. While it's sometimes necessary to do this, neglecting self-care on a regular or frequent basis will backfire. Your health may suffer while you are not accomplishing nearly as much as you had hoped to. It's time to examine your lifestyle. Are you constantly depending on coffee or artificial energy boosters to keep you going? How about snacking on junk food? Are you getting enough sleep, or are you constantly burning the midnight oil in order to complete your tasks? Try and reflect on these questions, and if you find yourself leading an unhealthy lifestyle, it's high time for you to improve on it and observe how this has affected your day-to-day productivity. Welcome back. In this module, you'll learn how to tap into the power of leverage in order to boost your productivity. Leverage can be applied in different contexts, as it means to extend rewards or results and getting things done in a limited time frame. When you have too much on your plate and you need to get things done as soon as possible, leverage is key. The 3 ways to leverage: 1. Duplicating. 2. Technology. 3. Outsourcing. 1. Duplicating. This can be applied in the context of creating products or future plans for your company. Many startup companies waste their time and productivity by cracking their heads to invent new products. The key here is to duplicate what already works or exists and improve on it. This will inevitably help you manage your resources better. 2. Technology. We live in an era where almost anything can be automated with the help of technology. For instance, you can automate your email, quote deliveries, presentations, and even meeting notes. You just need to look for the available platforms for you to do so. You can easily set up your email client to create email templates, such as canned response, if you're using Gmail. If you need to send out emails at a specific time to a specific audience, you can schedule and set your email beforehand by using autoresponders such as Aweber. 3. Outsourcing. Most business owners think they can handle everything on their own, but this can easily leave you overworked and overloaded. People also normally assume that as soon as you have established your own business or company, you need to hire full-time employees and run an office. This will definitely incur great cost. How do you leverage off a team excluding all the hassles of running a physical establishment and those hefty costs? The answer is outsourcing. You have the capability to hire freelancers across the globe to create your products for you while you focus on marketing your business. This will help you to increase your business's productivity. Where do you search for freelancers? 1. Fiverr.com. Fiverr lets you buy or sell any service starting at a very reasonable rate of $5. In Fiverr, a service is known as a gig. Fiverr is the world's largest marketplace for digital services. There's no need for you to negotiate pricing, and the services offered are in multiples of $5. Upwork.com. Formerly known as Odesk, Upwork is a platform that connects clients with virtual freelancers. You can hire freelancers on an hourly basis or one-off projects, depending on what needs to be done. What's different about Upwork is its time tracking tool, which makes it easy for you to track the project's progress and pay for the work they complete. According to Business.com, freelancers are an essential asset in meeting the daily rigors of managing a startup. This is especially true for bootstrappers who don't necessarily have the resources to train or provide hardware for fresh hires. Therefore, what you need to do now is to list down which tasks you can manage on your own and which you can delegate to outsource so you can immediately get down to business. Hi there, in this module you'll learn how to focus your task in order to boost your productivity. In the fast-paced world we live in today, we're constantly on the go and multitasking has become second nature. Catching up with your work emails while you're driving, having lunch and preparing for that meeting. Yes, we're able to do 2 or 3 things at once, but what's impossible is giving your full concentration to the multiple tasks all at once. Psychologists suggest that having fewer priorities and focusing on one task at a time leads to enhanced productivity. The brain struggles to transition from one task to another simultaneously. This brain phenomenon is known as switching cost. Therefore, the only solution for you is to focus. You need to make it a point to follow your cause until you're done. Here are 5 tips for you to stay focused and concentrated on the task at hand. 1. Stop multitasking, as multitasking is a myth. 2. Schedule your day, plan ahead. 3. Use the Pomodoro technique. 4. Eat healthy to retain your focus. 5. Meditate. 1. Stop multitasking, as multitasking is a myth. This is the first thing you need to sort out if you want to finish what you started. Instead of rapidly switching between activities, commit to a single task at hand, focus on it until the end. Doing more things at a time doesn't garner faster or better results. However, giving your undivided attention to one thing as best as you can produces greater results. Many people mistake productivity as getting a boatload of things done at a time. That's false. Why? Because productivity is the measure of getting things done consistently. 2. Schedule your day. Plan ahead. Here are the 2 easy methods you can adopt in order to schedule your day and plan ahead. 1. Have a planner to amplify your productivity. Let's face it, we can be caught up with things that need to be done, and sometimes we forget what needs to be prioritized. Therefore, having a daily planner will work wonders for you. Make sure you use the monthly view for important dates such as birthdays, public holidays, or special occasions. Use the weekly planning sections for more general tasks, such as visiting your grandparents by the end of the week or mowing the lawn. Meanwhile, for daily planning sections, you jot down specifically what you want to accomplish or what needs to be done for each day. This can be like preparing for a meeting, going out with a friend, or going to the gym. 2. The Ivy Lee method. The Ivy Lee method comprises of 5 simple steps. 1. At the end of each working day, list down the 6 tasks you want to accomplish tomorrow. Don't exceed 6 tasks. 2. Prioritize these 6 tasks according to their importance. 3. When you start work the next day, place your focus solely on the first task on your list. Complete the first task before you move on to the next one. 4. Approach the rest of the task in the same fashion. Remember to only move on to the next task only when the previous task is completed. 5. Repeat this process every working day. 3. Use the Pomodoro technique. This method is fairly simple. When you need to complete a large or multiple tasks, you break down the task into short time intervals. The most effective duration would be focusing on your task for a solid 25 minutes and taking a short break of 5 minutes. Then the cycle repeats. Using the Pomodoro technique can help you charge through distractions, and it'll help you focus to get things done in short intervals of time. It's an effective way to train your brain to pay full attention to the work you need to complete. This technique also enables you to take necessary breaks so you don't get burnt out or overwhelmed with the task at hand. 4. Eat healthy to retain your focus. One of the most important elements we take for granted is our eating habits. This contributes significantly to how our brain functions, which affects our attention span or focus. Therefore, researchers suggest a low glycemic diet. What does a low glycemic diet consist of? Well, first, non-starchy vegetables, leafy greens such as spinach, salads, broccoli, and green beans. 2. Nuts and seeds, chia seeds, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, almonds, and walnuts. 3. Beans and legumes, soya beans or red beans. You should have this in small portions, about a half a cup per serving. 4. Yogurt and other fermented dairy, Greek or unsweetened yogurt, raw whole milk, traditionally made cheese. 5. Whole grains, oats, brown rice, wild rice, granola, and muesli. 6. Fresh fruits, stone fruits, blueberries, cherries, and citrus fruits. 7. Healthy fats like virgin coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, nuts, seeds, and avocado. 8. Lean proteins, salmon, turkey, skinless chicken breast, lamb, and beef. 5. Meditate. Meditation does not only serve as a spiritual purpose, but research has also proven that meditation can boost your attention span as well as keeping you focused on the task at hand. You don't have to go meditate at a monastery or on top of a mountain. All you need to do is invest at least 5 to 20 minutes of your time per day. Close your eyes and inhale deeply, preferably at a quiet place so you're free from distractions. Think of nothing. You'll see how your focus and attention span improves just after 4 days. Try and practice meditation first thing in the morning before you start your tasks. We've reached the end of the module. Even if you have digested every single technique from this course, you're only able to boost or improve your productivity by taking immediate action. Losing focus and procrastinating is easy. But get back on track. Retaining that momentum is the true test of endurance. Living in this digital era no doubt has its privileges, and it's given us a vast amount of amazing things to look forward to. Our mobile phones, tablets, computers. But these things also come with a cost. Without us realizing it, all of these gadgets are also our main distractions, and they make us counterproductive. According to research conducted by the Human Computer Institute at Carnegie Mellon University, it can take up to 25 minutes just to regain back your focus after being distracted. Consequently, from all the power tips we've provided you with, it's now your job to create a productive environment for yourself. Create an environment that can motivate you to stay focused, distraction-free, and most important, boosts your productivity. What you need to do now is remove interruptions, distractions, chaos, and all that clutter in your life that would not contribute to your productivity as well as completing your pending tasks. Here's to supercharging your productivity.